Well, first of all, we really want to welcome you. I know there has been a huge amount of preparation for this retreat, hasn't there, Jeff?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's feeling rather nervous sitting there because he's had a lot of work to get it right. It's always like that, you know, when you carry the responsibility of welcoming in a group, then you always have a bit of tension, so somebody has to come in. Come! Okay. So you have come to a house where we have lived as sisters for 50 years. Some of us, none of us will have lived here 50 years because we change around a lot of places. So just a little bit first of all about who we are, because I think you're nearly all here for the first time, aren't you? So do you know anything about us at all? Nothing at all. So there's a little leaflet outside that saves me going into all the details, and it's called the Sisters of St Andrew. Okay, and it's got 5 loaves and 2 fish on the front, which if you remember, or some of you might, in the Gospel, it was a little boy, Andrew, who found this little boy and gave to Jesus 5 loaves and 2 fish. It wasn't much, for 5,000 people. You're not 5,000. And we will feed you okay, I hope. But there's something rather beautiful about that text, because those 5,000 people and these 5 loaves and 2 fish, I think something fantastic about it. Jesus, he took these 5 loaves and 2 fish, he blessed them, he broke them, they multiplied, and he did not distribute them to the crowd, he gave them back to the disciples. So we're a bit like that. We only have 5 loaves and 2 fish. We are about 129 sisters in Brazil, in the Congo, the Belgian Congo, which was Zaire before. In France, our sisters work with the Brothers of Taizé, if you've heard of the Brothers of Taizé. So I spent 20 years out working with the Brothers of Taizé. We have 3 or 4 communities in Belgium and in England, so we're quite small. It's quite small, but very dispersed. The 5 loaves and the 2 fish are very scattered, if you like. Okay. We were founded a long time before any of us here were even dreamed of. We were founded in 1231. Just sit with that for a minute. Nearly 800 years ago. So nearly 800 years ago, 2 sisters, who were blood sisters, began to welcome pilgrims like yourselves, but they were journeying along from Belgium to Compostelle, but Belgium didn't exist then, if you remember, it was only France. So we were founded in France, and they welcomed these 2 blood sisters, the pilgrims on horseback who became tired, or they had to feed their horses. So we always began by welcoming pilgrims. So our main thrust in our mission, if you like, is always to welcome pilgrims. So we may be medical, we may be in chaplaincy, we may work with mental health. A lot of us here will journey individually with people in silence, and this house is a silent house. We don't welcome people unless it's one big group who do their own things. St Martin's in the Fields, you probably know that church in London. So we have quite a lot of groups who will come for their own retreats, Iona, etc. But on the whole, the sisters here, we welcome people in silence, because we find people are looking to take space to look at their life. A bit like yourselves, looking at your life now. So that's this little leaflet here. Is that okay? And there's more about us in there, and you'll find them outside, and you'll find them in the area we call Piccadilly, where there's a table with your names on. We call that Piccadilly because there's a lot of people going in and out of it the whole time. Okay. If you want anything during your stay, please don't wait until you go home to ask us. That's the worst thing. The worst thing is to hear at the end, it was great, we enjoyed it, but I'd love a hot water bottle. I don't think you'll need one now. And we would say, you know, well, why didn't you say you could have a hot water bottle? So our welcome is one of quite non-intrusive. Once I've welcomed you, you're at home here, but we would like you to be well looked after. Does that make sense? So just say to us if you are missing something, because our main way of being is hospitality. All right? Well, I'm going to go through these rubrics like every house has to. They're a bit boring, but I think they'll be okay. So a bit about us. Meals, I know you've got your own rhythm of meals. We've just told the sisters that we have to rise at 6 o'clock. Is that right? We're a bit shocked when I showed them that this evening. And they are going to be woken by a bell at 6 o'clock, so we'll see who will appear. Then you're going to be welcomed by a bell at 6 o'clock, I hear, is that right? If you are sleeping in the end of Green Lane, that's the longer corridor, you will also have a couple of people the other side who are in perfect silence. They're in total silence. So if you're at that end of the corridor, we do ask you not to speak. Is that okay? So I don't know, it's rooms something like 3, 4 and 5, and something like 14, 16, 15 there. Is that okay? It's that end, because these people come to make silence. I've got somebody who's in silence since 6 days now, 5, 6 days. Okay. So meals, I'm not going to tell you when they are, because you know when they are, don't you? Or you will know when they are. Is that all right? I think I've got a rota for washing up and different things like that, and that's part of us being. I know that you are very into mindfulness, so I'm not completely ignorant sitting here. I feed into quite a lot of these traditions. So we would say, yes, taste and enjoy your food and be present where you are at that precise moment. Is that okay? Does it sound all right? Be present where you are at that precise moment. All right? We like our house to be tidy. You'll probably notice that. We don't like things scattered all over the place and dirty cups and teaspoons, because that does not help us. I think it helps us in our being. So we ask you to respect your washing up and your coffee cups. If you find a dirty coffee cup, it's probably one of us that's left it lying around. Okay. We ask you to be punctual to meals, because we have to finish the washing up like you do afterwards, and a discipline of the day is important. All right? We had a fire alarm practice this morning before you came. So if the fire alarm goes off, and you will certainly hear it unless you are really profoundly deaf, it is very, very loud, we ask you to leave the building immediately, and you probably know those kind of things wherever you go, all right? It's no good me explaining to you where to go, except where the destination is. The destination is behind us. You'll see a meeting point out there, because I don't know where you're going to be when the fire alarm goes off. Okay, so you need to look and see where you are and go for the exit. Is that okay? But it won't be for amusement's sake. It will be either a spider, a fly in the system, or it will be serious, which I hope it won't be. Okay? But we do ask you to also check at night if your neighbours are not up. Is that okay? There are torches in Piccadilly. There's 2 big torches on the table if you knew it was late at night. All right? Security, yeah. And although you're in the country, and we would like to leave doors open and enjoy the space, our place is visited by other people other than ourselves, like everywhere else. Okay, so this door here we don't open ever, so you're imprisoned now. You can't go out that door anymore.
I just walked in through it.
Is it open?
It's completely open.
So it's not being closed. Okay, so I'll close it immediately. I get up. It's a good point then. Okay, so I'll close that immediately. If you ever see it open, close it. Is that okay? Yeah. You've got 2 exits. I think you know the codes, don't you? Because you've been in and out now. C 1857. All right. Those doors don't always close fully. They look as if they do, but can you make sure you really pull them together? Don't wait for the person behind you to come, because that person may be in some state of being. They suddenly move off somewhere else. They don't come through the door at all, and that often happens. Okay. So, do make sure they're closed, otherwise, we do have visitors come in, and we don't particularly want that. Windows, it's up to you. If you want to leave your windows open, that's fine. We'll leave that up to you. It's your own. At night, if you want just a bit of air in your room, it's good to know that. The big window has a little latch on it if you try it out, so you've got air. If you want to be blown out of the room, then open the little tiny window at the top, and you will get a real draft through there. It's just to let you know what you prefer. Okay, because that's really quite cold. You've noticed in your rooms, I don't know whether you have, you've got sheets and pillowcases in there. Did you see that? They're in a drawer. Well, your bed's made now, and they were made by the previous visitors, so our system is one of welcoming each other. So whoever's left yesterday or the day before is prepared to welcome you. So we say don't change your duvet cover. Does that make sense? You've got 2 sheets, bottom sheet, top sheet, and 2 pillowcases. But that's when you leave. It's good to know what they're there for. Okay? We'll remind you when you go. Now, if you're going to be out late at night, do you think, are they going to be out late at night? Are you going to let them out late at night?
I don't think so.
Right.
10 close.
What time do you want them in bed?
10 o'clock.
In bed?
Yeah.
Ooh la la la.
10 or 10:30.
10 to 10:30 in bed.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Great. Good.
Well, in your room anyway, 10 to
Yeah.
10:30. Is that okay? Yeah. Right. If you have a real desire, and I'm not your master here, so if you have a real desire, you need to speak. The place to speak in the evening is not Piccadilly. That's where you make the coffee and teas, because you will disturb people there. If you really need to speak, the best place is to go to Blue Close Lounge. So some of you are in Blue Close, aren't you? Just through the end there, at the end, there's more men down that corridor, I think. There is a lounge where you can't usually be heard if you're not speaking loudly anywhere else. Is that okay? But don't disturb people in that little coffee area at night, because it does wake people up. No, we try to respect each other there, okay? Coffee and teas, drinks, hot chocolate, you've got those when you want. Are they allowed to drink? I'll leave that with you. Okay, but you've got water there, you've got hot water, you've got coffee, you've got tea, so you've got everything there. Okay, whatever you need, whatever helpful to you. What else am I supposed to tell you? I think you have a list for the washing up after the meals, so that usually goes quite well. Are you having meals in silence or talking, or?
Yeah, we have a meal silent and it's about 15 to 20 minutes, depend on the meal.
Okay.
For the breakfast and dinner, about 15 minutes. For the lunch, about 20 minutes.
Right. It's going to be interesting, isn't it?
So that means we can enjoy the food, assist the
Yes.
cooking.
That's good. So we have, every day, we have breakfast in silence, always. So each sister has her own rhythm. Okay? She has her breakfast, has her own rhythm, no talking. And then, like tonight, I've just come from our evening meal. We don't talk either, but we have music on in the evening. So we will have some gentle music. But we do talk on Saturdays and Sundays. And that comes from our monastic background, because we were monastic for 200 years. So we have a real blend of contemplative and action too. So it's quite interesting. Okay, I'm going to leave you in a minute. Prepare for the next guest. I'm sure I've forgotten half these things. I usually do. Yes, spaces to be. You know, where can you go and where can't you not go? Well, there's very few places you can't go, so it's quite positive, all right? We always look at things positively. Your main rooms then are going to be here, you know that, don't you? Is that right? Your main room, meeting room here, and you've got the library next door, and that's your meditation?
Actually, we may use this room for the meditation.
Yep.
Upstairs, depend on the weather.
Okay.
Yeah.
So up above us here we have a room which Jeff always loves called the Blue Oasis. It's an arranged room in different styles actually. It is a special room that has the icon of the Trinity, if you know about icons, which is special to us. In all our communities we will have this particular icon, the Blessed Trinity. So it's the Russian icon of Rublev. It will also have a little corner with a little book on Buddhist meditations. We will have another corner with the cross of Saint Damiano of St. Francis. So it's done like that purposefully because we welcome people from all different traditions. And so you can sit at any angle in it if you like. And most people sit on the floor, all there's cushions there too. It's a nice room, isn't it, Jeff? Yeah, it used to be a classroom. Transformed. Next door to that room there is a space, but some of us will see people in that room. So if it's closed with engaged on the door, you know it's engaged. If it's open, you're welcome to go and sit in that room. It has a view over here. You've got Blue Close Lounge then, as we said, down in where you're sleeping. The labyrinth you will find bit by bit. Our house is self-explanatory. It's done on purpose, so we don't have to keep telling people what to do the whole time. So if you get lost, it's part of the plan. Okay? The labyrinth is in a room up here, so it's an indoor labyrinth. If you've never walked a labyrinth, please don't walk it. Does that make sense? Read about it first of all. You know, listen to what your experience you're going into before you do that. Is that okay? And most people will find they will want to walk the labyrinth twice because it's new, it's interesting, and we go into it one way. But when we come out, then we will probably be a bit changed and want to go into it a second time. It's fine to be 2 or 3 in the labyrinth. You haven't got to be alone in there. It's an interesting experience to walk the labyrinth 2 or 3 people. Something about being together. Okay? Other rooms, the chapel. you're welcome to use our chapel. In your room, you will see there's a timetable, our timetable. You see it, if you haven't, there's a little paper there, and it will say when the sisters are using the chapel. You're welcome to join that prayer if you are free. Okay, some of you joined us tonight. We like to sing, so our prayer, I would have to say, is quite nice. Okay, we are quite gifted in our singing and our liturgy. So you're welcome to join that if you wish. Okay. So the chapel is there. There's another little ante-room you're seeing just off there called the Oak Room, and you're welcome to sit in there too. So I think for 17 of you, you've got plenty of space. I think it's important. And there's the garden. And there are rabbits. And if you're an early morning riser, there is a big herd of deer that could come. And there are pheasants, and there are 2 donkeys, you may have noticed. We have a ritual in the evening. If you watch them for long enough, they have a real ritual in the evening of walking and drinking and then bathing in the dust. It's really interesting to watch their rhythm. So I want to wish you a really good stay. Okay, you're here till Monday morning, is it? Monday?
Lunchtime.
Until lunch or after lunch?
After lunch.
After lunch. So you've got ample time to be at home, I think, during that time. Okay, but if you do want anything, let us know. I don't think there's anything else. Yes, I think you're going to do some work at some stage, aren't you?
Yeah, could you talk about
what time is that? Yeah.
It's for an hour. It's from 10:30 to 11:30, I think.
Okay, so it's for those who wish, I presume.
It's optional, yes.
Yeah. So for those of you who wish, there's quite a lot in the garden to do different things. Yeah. There is some weeding and cleaning outside in the garden. So there's quite a lot to do in the garden if you wish. Okay, if it's nice, it's quite a nice place to be in the garden. I don't know what time that is though, we've got that there, yes. 10:30 to 11:30, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, then there will be cleaning your own areas, alright? So you'll be cleaning your bathrooms and your toilets, which is part of our mindfulness way of being too. It's very Ignatian, you know. Ignatian is finding God in all things, and all things in God. It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting, in fact, how all our spiritualities actually zoom into the same place, just with different expressions. So yes, there'll be the cleaning of the loos, the cleaning of the bathrooms, the cleaning of the corridor, and the main rooms where you are. There will be cleaning of your dining room, okay, after breakfast, because we spill things during breakfast and that. And there was a third thing, I can't remember what that is. I know there was cleaning outside. And there was a third thing, I can't remember what it is though. Mary Christine told me and I can't remember.
Is there a gardening and cleaning? Or?
There was gardening and cleaning, there was something else, but I can't remember what it is. You have to invent
chopping
something.
Wood?
Sorry?
Chopping wood?
No, there's no chopping wood, I don't think. You have to invent something. Anyway, so what we will do, you need us to meet those who want.
Those who will help. 10:30 tomorrow morning, we'd
Yes.
like to be given a job.
Okay, so where would you like us to meet?
Yeah?
Where? In here?
Yes.
That's not going to disturb anybody.
That's after tea, isn't it?
He's a very young monk up here, isn't he? You see, that's exactly how St. Ignatius was. Let's change that photograph tomorrow, St. Ignatius with his stick and his sandals. I'll show you. Okay, so 10:30 tomorrow we'll meet for that. Yeah, if you're stuck outside and the door is locked and you can't get in, the best thing to do is ring this front doorbell. Okay, that's fine. And the last thing is about if you do go out later at night, if you feel that's what you're called to do, we would ask you not to be out later than 10. You need to be over there by 10 o'clock, as we say. I think that's good. Is that all right for everybody? Yeah, because the door will be locked downstairs at 10, so you won't be able to get out. So it means leaving this building and being over there by 10 o'clock. I think it's good. We need rest. No? We live in a stressful society. You know, I don't know what we're doing with ourselves, frankly. Killing ourselves off slowly, I think. So enjoy the space, even if it's tough. Even if the experience is difficult to enjoy it. Okay, there was one other thing about going out and coming in.
The door's locked.
Sorry?
The door's locked.
I was going to tell you that. Yeah, over where you're sleeping, the door downstairs, at night, it has a bolt at the top. You'll see it, a silver bolt, and it has a key. The key may be in the lock, or the key may be hanging. So if you want to get out and see the deer at 5 or 6, You want to go out and it's locked, it's very simple. You get the key or the keys in, unlock it, and there's a bolt at the top, that's fine. And this door will be open probably, one of our sisters gets up very early, so it'll be open by 6 to. So you wanted to come over here early, that's not a problem, come in your door. What else do I need to say, do you think? Anything you want to ask me?
I've suggested that we pay you for the remainder of the fee.
Tomorrow?
I've got 5 checks here from people for the remainder of the fee.
Okay.
So those who paid the deposit have already finished, but the rest of the money should go to you, a check to Sisters of St Andrew.
Yeah, so if you've got any money to pay for your stay, the cheque goes to Sisters of St Andrew because we're a charity. If you could give it to Jeff, and then tomorrow I'll settle up with you. Is that okay? I'm in tomorrow, so sometime tomorrow, that's fine.
Excuse me. If it's if you're a charity, do you need to have?
Yes, we can have a gift aid form. So if you're a taxpayer, that would really help us. And they're lying around somewhere. If I can give you some more, that would be really helpful to us. Yes, very very kind, very helpful to us too. Yeah, I mean if you can't, we quite understand that. Okay. I think that's all to tell you. The place is a blessed place, I tell you. It's rare somebody leaves here without some gift. I can't tell you what gift you will receive, but you know, it's rare somebody. It's a lived and prayed in place. So I hope whatever God gives you will be what you're needing at this time. Okay. So if you want anything, you find Mary Christine or me. Okay. I'm hard to find, so is Mary Christine, but you will find us. Is that okay? I will leave you now. Yes, these other 2 things here then. The other 2 leaflets, just so you want to know what they are, that's our programme, because we run a programme here of retreats and quiet days, and that's a little bit more about us. Okay, so you're welcome to pick those up when you want.